Hi there, KASM listeners. This is Kyle Weimann, Operations Manager at the Stearns County Soil and Water Conservation District, with your weekly conservation report. On this second weekend of firearm deer season, I want to take a moment to thank deer hunters for their responsible stewardship of our wildlife resources. As of Wednesday, November 8th, 83,575 deer had been harvested statewide. In the three main management zones that encompass Stearns County, 6,279 deer had been harvested. That's 7.5% of the whole statewide total. Regulated hunting is an important piece of the statewide deer management strategy, which aims to keep the deer population healthy and sustainable, limit the spread of diseases, such as chronic wasting disease, and reduce negative impacts on us. You know, a healthy deer population with adequate forage is much less likely to invade lawns and gardens, and there are fewer on the move to leap unexpectedly in front of our traveling vehicles. At the time of European settlement, white-tailed deer in Minnesota existed throughout the wooded river valleys and woodlands of central and southern Minnesota. In the north of the state, where the forest habitat was much different than it is today, deer were absent or rare. Moose and woodland caribou were the most abundant members of the deer family. As settlement cleared forests for lumber and agriculture, deer habitat quality improved through the creation of these new openings. Increased agricultural land conversion eventually reduced habitat quality in many areas, and along with market and subsistence hunting, resulted in deer population declines. By the 1880s, deer were rare in many parts of the state. But natural resource management, regulated hunting, and the white-tailed deer's ability to adapt have enabled the population to grow well beyond its pre-settlement range and numbers. And we now have a harvest goal of 200,000 deer per year. As you are out hunting this weekend and throughout the fall, take notes of areas that still have a green understory, since these are most likely invasive buckthorn stands. Common or European buckthorn and glossy buckthorn are the two non-native invasive buckthorn species found in Minnesota. These buckthorn species were first brought here from Europe as a popular hedging material. They became a nuisance plant, forming dense thickets in forests, yards, parks, and roadsides. Buckthorn outcompetes native plants for nutrients, light, and moisture. It degrades wildlife habitat. Buckthorn crowd out native plants and displace the native trees and shrubs in the mid-layer of the forest where many species of birds nest. It contributes to erosion by shading out the plants that grow on the forest floor, and buckthorn serves as host to other pests such as crown rust fungus and soybean aphid. And finally, buckthorn lacks natural controls like insects or diseases that would curb its growth, and so therefore is a successful invader without those controls. Buckthorn management is a multi-year commitment. Most viable seeds in the soil germinate within 2 years. Your plan will depend on how much time you have and how dense your buckthorn is. Additional seeds can be introduced to the site by birds and other wildlife. For just a few small plants, your plan may be as simple as a weekend of pulling buckthorn seedlings and then just regularly checking to see if new plants have taken root each year. For larger buckthorn infestations, the first part of your plan should be to remove all of the berry-producing buckthorn on your property. This would also be a good time to work with your neighbors to remove berry-producing buckthorn from their land too. Once you have controlled berry-producing plants, you have limited the ability of buckthorn to further expand. Once your area has no more berry-producing buckthorn, you can begin to focus on the goal of removing all of the buckthorn on your property. If your buckthorn is more like a jungle than just a few shrubs, you will likely want to plan on removing the buckthorn in sections. Begin removing the buckthorn from one section on your property and set a reasonable goal for the year. Remove more and more buckthorn each year until it is eradicated. Start removing buckthorn from sections with the fewest buckthorn plants to keep those areas unimpaired. Once all the buckthorn has been removed from your land, plan on walking your property at least once a year to find and remove new plants. The best time to find buckthorn is of course fall, and then also early spring, when most plants other than buckthorn will be without leaves. Managing it on your land is an ongoing process, so staying vigilant and scouting for new seedlings will reduce your long-term workload of removing large, established buckthorn. The SWCD has additional resources available for buckthorn management, so don't hesitate to contact our office to discuss if you're dealing with a major infestation. Once the buckthorn is gone, you may want to consider establishing a beneficial layer of native shrubs and short trees in your understory. The SWCD annual tree and shrub sale started on November 1st and will continue until inventory is sold out. These trees are sold bare root in bundles of 25. Pickup will be in late April or early May of next year, and orders may be placed at any time on our website, stearnscountyswcd.net. For more information on these topics, or just to learn more about conservation practices or the SWCD in general, please reach out and connect with our office. You can give us a call anytime, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. at 320-251-7800, extension 3. You can also learn more about many of these topics, request a site visit, or sign up for our newsletters or tree sale notifications at stearnscountyswcd.net. We look forward to hearing from you and working together to meet your conservation goals. With your Stearns County Soil and Water Conservation District Weekly KASM Conservation Report, this has been Kyle Weimann. Have a great weekend.